you guys know why Emily's here, don't you? Because tomorrow we have Open Studio right here, and I hope that a lot of you are planning on attending.
I'm looking at you, Cheryl.
Yes.
I'm looking at you.
The
who else lives close by that I'm thinking of?
What I was going to say, all the details, they're on the homepage, the front page of our website.
Yeah.
So you can find
all.
You think? You can find all of that info right there on our homepage. So it's all ready to go. If you need, and the directions all on the website, all here. So join us. We're going to be here tomorrow from 10 to 3, that specific time. For those of you who look at all these people jumping on in.
Look at that.
Hi guys. For those of you who are not local, don't worry. Emily and
you can fly in tonight.
You can. There's still time. Grab a ticket.
Right. Charter a jet.
You can still join in on what we're going to be doing because we're going to be going live a few times during the day. And there we go. Look at everybody's here. Look at that. And
the gang's all here.
Make sure that I can see everybody on the YouTube. And so what we're going to be doing is we'll be going live intermittently throughout the day. So make sure that your notifications are on both on your Facebook and your YouTube so you don't miss it, because we have no idea what time we're going live, really. We're just going to kind of go with the flow of the day.
You're in charge, so I'm following along.
All right, let's do it.
Right.
And we're also doing a really fun make and take. So you don't have to join in on the make and take if you aren't. If you just want to stop by and look around and hang out, and we're having drinks and food, and it's going to be really fun. But if you do want to come in for the make and take, Emily, you're doing a pearl pendant. I'm doing
a little kind of a spin-off of some of the stuff I did at the retreat last time. Mm-hmm. So a wire wrap veil, we'll make it with a fancy bead. Mm-hmm. So we'll make a centerpiece, and you can use it, however you want. Yeah. If you made 2, you can make earrings. If Yeah. And then I have, we're getting out the pearl mixes. And so from that pendant, you can also do some wire wrapping. We'll have the pearls out on the table, and you can come in and wire wrap and create some stuff with that. I'll also I'll have, of course, my torches and everything will be here. The hydraulic press will be on, stuff like that. So if you're interested and you want to see what some of the metal smithing stuff that's coming up for us, it's also a good time to tune in or stop by. I also brought some samples of classes that we'd already talked about.
Classes. We're going to be kicking off.
Classes are coming
class samples
this soon.
Yeah.
And this late summer, I think, actually, is the first day.
Yeah, and we'll have those published. We're just getting all that finalized, so it'll be published on the website. We also, so tomorrow's just going to be kind of a casual get-together day. And as I say, we'll go live periodically throughout the day, especially maybe when we're doing some kind of cool or interesting demos, just to kind of demo and, just kind of see how we feel about, what we want to share and stuff. So all of that info, if you go to beadshop.com, the address and everything is over on the website. And if you have any questions, you can always email info@beadshop.com, and we'll be super stoked to have you here tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody again. The in-person teaching for us for Kate and I both it's more than just a job. It's really an adventure. It's a super adventure because you never know what you're going to get any day.
No, it's true.
It's so true. I often think about it, it's sort of like being on stage, is that you don't really know what your co-actors are going to say or do at any moment. And it's
especially true with you sometimes, Emily Miller.
But Kate and I we're super dependable. We're also have done this now for a while. So we're quite good at juggling the unexpected and the expected.
Indeed.
And we like it to boot.
Yeah, we do.
So I can talk for several hours without stopping.
It's
easily.
So true.
And so you can come and listen to us talk and hang out with us.
And I think the project is going to be kind of fun. We'll have, I'm really excited, Emily, for what you're going to share with people. And, with the pearls and everything, I have, and I'm pointing over there into the studio because I can see my studio as if you can see it. But you'll also be in the studio space with us tomorrow when we go live. And, you know, I have been collecting, and you have as well, Em. We've been collecting tools and materials. I have for almost 30 years. And
I started making beaded jewelry seriously in about 1998.
Yeah. So we have a lot of tools, a lot of resources. So it's going to be fun. Like if someone's coming and they're all, you know what? I wish I knew how to drill this pearl. Well, you know what? I could show you how to drill a pearl. It'll be really fun. So it's going to be kind of a casual day tomorrow. Cara is going early to get some snacks and treats, and Chris is going to lay in the beverages. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It'll be really cool. So we will jump in and periodically through the day. So if you have the notifications set, as I said, on your YouTube channel or on your Facebook, the Facebook Bead Shop Facebook group, you'll get those notifications when they're up. At the end of the day, they'll all be archived on YouTube. So if you miss it, it's okay. You can go Saturday night, Sunday, whatever, and you'll see all of them. And I'll make a playlist actually for them, so they'll all be together in one playlist. So you'll be able to see it. So we, people are asking about our necklaces.
That's a very pretty,
you know,
sort of combo that you casually
threw on. You guys will be able also, if you're coming to see us tomorrow, you'll be able to see us the Wall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh God, the Wall of Projects. Wait till you see it. I don't know whose idea that was.
It was my idea.
I could tell.
I wanted that idea. I wanted to do that, as my poor dear departed mother-in-law would say. Alex would say, "Kate, that's your I love me wall. You know, all your accolades."
It's really quite lovely to look at it laid out this way, and really there's no other way to do it. And wait till you see the hallway of
all of our projects. It's a little crazy.
It's a little bit like the awards show, you know, the awards wall.
It is the awards wall. It is. All of our Emmys are up there.
Absolutely.
What I've got going on here, and I just threw them on because Emily, when she comes down, she stays with us overnight beforehand. So she gets out this cute dress, this cute tunic that she's wearing, and I'm like, I want a tunic, but my tunic isn't quite as cute as yours. But I thought that this long kind of swingy necklace is a great tunic piece. And I thought one of these is yours. This is yours. This is our Patterning with Stones. And then this is one that I did. I think I did this on a Free Tip Friday, or
is it called the Star Cut?
This was the stone mix. That's what this was.
Got it.
This was one of my specialty mixes, and I'm just going to tell you, if you're into my specialty mixes, there may or may not be one coming up soon. Not today, not this week, but soon. So watch your newsletters. And this is the longest, here it is. It's the easiest, and it's my favorite way of stringing this. And it really was inspired, by your pearl piece.
You know, that pearl necklace that I have made multiple times, and Cindy Spidey Stamps came and purchased one for me at my trunk show.
Oh,
the thing she picked out, and I was like really tickled. The pearl mix, I have a jar, and I have for years loved pearls, and so whenever I have a few left over, you know, every project that you make, you always are going to have a few bits and pieces left over.
Well,
and you have 3. You can't make, you know, a pair of earrings with 3 items. So I would throw them in this mason jar, and it became this really lovely mix. And sometimes I'd pick through it and find things. And when I design, I often have the idea that what we're really kind of looking for in a design is to pick some spots where we have some contrast and pick some spots where you don't have contrast.
Right.
So for me, pearls all go together. It's easy to blend them because they're pearly. Even if one is blue and one is green and one is white, one is gray and one is chocolate, they still all go together because their finishes, this is that unifying factor. So when I made the necklace, it's spaced out, and the same with Patterning with Stones. Stones all have a unique stone quality to them that glass beads don't have.
And they kind of, nature goes with nature.
Exactly.
Right?
And so spacing them out gives each one a little bit of moment to shine. And I kind of did the same thing with the pearls. Mixture of pearls and a mixture of textures with some seed beads in between. And it's a super wearable, easy necklace. And it is, as far as I can tell right now, it is already
kind of close to you guys.
Tunic season.
Yeah,
which is summertime to me is something loose, something kind of flowy. I'm not going to say moo but it could be
Yeah,
a moo Mrs. Roper.
We'll call it kimono.
Well, I don't know. It's not really a kimono either.
No.
That's why tunic or dashiki
or
kaftan.
Kaftan, that's what I was thinking of.
a little more gracious than moo.
My new summer wardrobe, I think, is just going to be kaftan and turbans.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Right.
And so having something kind of long that goes with that tunic kind of fits with it. And it's very wearable. So this to me is a fallback kind of design, and it's certainly something that I explore often and morph. If you think about what we did with illusion knotting, where we have a little bit of thread in between the beads, it's really the same as that. It's giving that bead a little time to rest and shine, and your eye a little visual spot to kind of notice that you're moving on to the next thing. But all those things kind of are subtle, and they happen sort of organically. You're not forcing the issue quite so much.
Well, and I think there's been a couple of questions about how we put these together.
Sure.
So this one with patterning with stones that Emily did,
baby.
Softflex 110%, and there's no clasp.
No clasp.
This one has just been crimped continuously, and I think covered with a crimp cover and done. Bob's your uncle.
If I can, with a long necklace, because it's long, and sometimes it could be a little catchy, I'll try and take my Softflex and go through a bead like this, and then crimp on either side. So I'm crimping through two, and there's a bead in the middle. And to me, that's sort of a little safety net. That if it gets a little extra a little extra tug, it's sort of okay.
Yeah.
If you feel uncomfortable about doing that, a long necklace without a lot of security, you can go along and crimp every 6 or 8 inches, like you would knot pearls. Throwing in a little crimp and a crimp cover, it really won't show. A lot of people will look at that necklace and they can't find the crimp.
Yeah.
So
it's a cool thing.
Right. Same on this one, I bet you.
Yeah. So what I did with this one does have a clasp, and you guys can see that there. It's our fairly new nun design clasp that I loved, and I used the wire guards and stuff with it. And so this one, not only, I'll do this on my bare wrist, not only can it be worn as a necklace, but I'm a big fan of just wrapping these around and around and around. And a lot of times I make them so, now this one I'll have to unclasp, but you can see it's kind of a fun thing to wear.
And again, I think that's kind of tunicky and
very
summery.
Tunicky,
that you put those layers on, and that's what kind of today's project to me is. It's an extremely summer project worthy. When you think about summer camp and summertime, to me this is like what you need, these little projects to kind of fill in the gaps,
Well, let's get to it.
You're going to go the other side?
So I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to be Brandoing today. I'm going to work the camera so Emily can demo for you. What I wanted to say about this piece is if you go to beadshop.com and you'll be able to jump over to the projects page, and you'll see we're calling this one 3D Macrame. And the 3D macrame, Emily has some specific designs that she's going to talk about, but we thought we'd toss up just the general recipe to start, because there are only like 4 or 5 objects or ingredients in this piece, and so it's super easy to kind of design and make your own.
Absolutely. Very adaptable.
Very adaptable. So if you go, you can see there's a recipe, and it'll tell you need the 1 strand of here, but I'll let Emily talk a little bit about the recipe that she has here, because she's making actually another curry. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Someone's allergic to beads today.
Something blew in the door.
Something, indeed. And so jump on over and go to the projects. We do have the list of what exactly we've used in these pieces. So when we turn the camera around, we'll walk through that. Also, do remember, since Free Tip Friday is a much more casual vibe, so we're super chatty and kind of having fun over here with this.
But this is a quickie.
It is.
And
it's a quickie one. I'm going to turn around and get up and get that camera
on. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Let's get this moving here. But it is a fun, when you came with this one and said, let's do this, and then we thought, oh, you're coming for this Free Tip Friday, it's a perfect one to do with this kind of a shorter time period, because it's super easy to do.
It is a super easy one. I think what we do a lot in jewelry making is a variation on a theme, and I've really always enjoyed working with macrame, starting back in 5th or 6th grade, I think, when my best friend's mom taught me how to make a macrame plant hanger.
Oh, right. Didn't we all make those
She had
macrame
a
plant hangers?
very 70s house, and she had a hook in the living room where she would hang the plant hangers and make them.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, my mom will remember.
Tracy's mom.
Oh my God, my mom will
Bonnie,
remember.
I think is her name.
That we also had one of those big hangers.
Yeah, and I made that for my grandmother, who would no sooner wanted a macrame plant hanger than fly to the moon, but I felt that it was a nice gift, so
she got one.
So she got one.
That's right. Let's get you evened out here. And I'll have you know, and Emily, I think I told you this, I don't know, it's kind of exciting. I do have we're working on, you guys, a 2-camera shoot.
Oh boy, that's exciting.
We are going to be so professional, you guys won't know what to do with us. It's going to just be crazy. I'm going to take, can I have one more clip? And then I'll get you another one if you
I know, I've got a pair now.
You have enough?
Good.
All right, sorry.
We're just
this
set.
is moving down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get you in the center.
You're going to have to pull back, I think, just a little bit when you...
There we go. You can't... I've got you... So, see, you're about right here. So, let me...
Can you come to me just a smidge?
I can.
Look at that. I feel like I'm in an operating room here.
You... Indeed.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
There we
go.
But the 2-camera shoot, you guys, is going to be a gosh darn game changer on this.
Oh boy, it's going to be super exciting.
I'm working on it.
Here, I'll try and straighten up.
Because you know who's our IT person and our videographer? Me. So
Kate Richburg,
you know what? But that's okay. We'll get it. So I'm a little tall in the thing. So
how's that?
That's a good space. Do you feel pretty good about that?
Yeah, I feel good about that.
Okay, great.
Yep. So we had Bollywood, which is one of JP's long-running projects, and I went and looked on the project wall today and pulled some samples, and man, it's something that's been revisited a few times, and I love the CKC, the Chinese knotting cord, which really gives you a huge palette of colors to work with.
Yeah, doesn't it?
And it has a really beautiful bit of a sheen to it, which I think really contrasts nicely with matte beads or beads. A lot of different beads, but even the metallics look really kind of, it's a nice balance. It's got a little bit of everything going on. And I like that these are meant for layering. You know, we used to make friendship bracelets with a safety pin and some embroidery floss stapled to your knee, and you did it on the bus, on the school bus, going back and forth to school. And
sorry, you guys, I'm trying to fix the brightness here.
These really tremendously remind me of those days and that time. And so when I think about this kind of bracelet, I really do think summertime and making kind of quick, easy projects. And when I say variation on the theme, these are pretty much all done in the same technique with very similar materials. And you can do just a huge variety of things, just changing your palette. One of the things I don't see very often in macrame, though, is kind of getting it out of the 2D, the flat, and into the 3D. And that was something that I had kind of taken on as a project for myself. And what I came up with was this bracelet where we actually have beads on the top of the macrame.
I just love it.
And it really came together beautifully. You know, we couldn't do this without Dakota stones. Thank you, guys. I know you're watching. Having a stone with an easy to work with hole makes all the difference in the world. Now, I used a 6mm, which is kind of our middle size. We have 4, 6, and 8mm. The middle size kind of works well with this. If you wanted to scale up or down a little bit, you certainly could. You could certainly do this with the Matubos as well. We have 2 colorways which we'll publish to kind of show them off. This one we called Mesa, and it's the 6mm carnelian, the opaque matte size 6 seed bead on the outside, and then we used country red and mahogany. Country red, waxed linen, and you know, waxed linen does not get the love that it should.
No, I mean, it's so important for our Odyssey project.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna have you move this just a little bit closer.
There you go.
It's so important and integral for our Odyssey project, and it's something, you know, one of the first times that I learned how to string like a fancy necklace, I learned on the Irish wax linen. It's
so great to work with something that doesn't require a needle, is easy to handle, My only thought is if you decide to use the natural, which I'm actually using for 2 projects, wash your hands a little bit. It does tend to pick up a little bit of dustiness from your hands, and if you undo it a bunch of times, it may get a little dusty looking. But I find that to sort of be part of its charm. It actually has a little bit of life that it shows. The mahogany leather here is just a distressed mahogany. I love all the distressed.
Yeah.
They're all my jam.
I mean,
Sorry.
my distress like.
I have a hard time walking away. Can't we use this one? It's distressed. I
Right.
love that. So this is the 1.5 millimeter distressed mahogany, and this is going to be our base. This will be our macrame cord for that weight. And as you can see, what I did was I managed a way to hold the beads on the top of the spine and macrame both on the sides and on in between. So if I open this up, which is kind of fun, just a simple button loop. If I open this up, you actually might be able to spot the trick and the secret to this one. So notice that running down the base of the bracelet is another strand of waxed linen.
You're terribly so clever.
So, when you come up with something new or you see something that inspires you, take a moment to be sort of investigative and look and see if you can figure out where that technique kind of how that came about. How did they do that? Here's another one. Look at that. See the strand running
really
back?
tight in there, so kind of hold it still for just a second. And will you lift your thumb, the other thumb? There we go. There we go. One of the thumbs. Both your thumbs, or you lift them. But this one, you can see how Emily started and finished with the flat macrame knot.
Yep.
Which is great, and I'm going.
And this is just a pair of knots in between each piece. So when we talk about working out quickly, I kind of had this concept in my brain, and as I made it, I texted Kate. I said, "Are you sure you want me to do this? It doesn't take very long." And she's like, "Absolutely, free to Friday."
Yeah, free to Friday. Let's do it. Yes, make it now.
This is going to come together surprisingly quickly for you. You could do this into multiple wrap if you wanted to. It'd be totally fine. Kate's giving me the off-camera hurry up signal.
Well, not hurry up, but
moving along.
Yes.
So I'm going to go ahead and start off one, and I picked another colorway, which of course it's hard to not do when you're here at the bead shop. Right. Keeping it kind of on the simple side. The colors and beads and stones, everything is going to talk together and play nice with others.
And we do have a big variety. I mean, as I say, we have the project recipe, and we also have, we have choose the button you like, choose the 6/0 you like, because essentially, Emily, the materials that you have, they're right. So just go over exactly what you have.
All right.
For this.
So I have a size 6 bead. Let's talk about this as if it's a recipe.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a size 6 bead. Any size 6 would work.
Seed bead, 6/0.
Seed bead. This could be this also could be a popcorn padre.
Sure.
Right?
It could.
We didn't even think of that.
It could be a shadow.
It could be a shadow.
A big shadow.
Yeah,
it could be
standard shadow.
Kate's favorite shadow.
Right.
I never.
Get out of there with that.
I'm sorry. All right. Sorry.
Any size 6 millimeter bead.
Yes.
Now, again, you could size up or down, and about a half strand of our normal strands, 8-inch strands, would work for this.
Yeah.
So you'll get almost 2 bracelets per. If you do a couple extra knots here and there, you could get more. You need a button, and on this one, a shank button or a hold button would be fine, but shank buttons are a little easier, I think, to work with. I picked the organic bee, not rustic, because this is an undesigned button that I kind of heart. And I like that it's got a fairly beefy aspect to it. It's got a little weight.
I love those. The other one that we have that's like this, like the non-design one, is the crossed arrows button as well.
Yes, that would also be really great.
And Ellen is asking, this is the 6-1255. It's the matte metallic bronze.
I got to tell you, I love a bronze. I have found that bronze goes with everything. You can put bronze with pearls. You can put bronze with stones. You can put bronze with black. You can put bronze with white.
How about bronze with pink?
Yeah.
How about bronze with orange?
I would put bronze and orange together. I might add something else to it.
How about bronze with I'm just
green?
kidding.
Absolutely.
Sure, totally.
See, dark blue. Right. Where are we going here, Kate? Do you think I'm going to say no?
No, I know. That's why.
So I took my 1.5 millimeter distressed gray leather. Big surprise. I cut about 2 tray lengths, which these trays are 14 inches long. And this is a bit longer than I'm going to need, but I want to have enough to be able to clamp it easily to the tray and work with it. So it's a little longer than I would normally need. If I was being very precise about this, I might need a little less. I also, and I strung it on my button.
And let me ask you this. Can people size up or down the leather?
Of course.
So we could go down to a 1 millimeter, and you could go up to a 2 millimeter.
I think so.
Yeah,
Again,
I think so too.
Playing around with proportion, this to me was kind of a perfect proportion. If I was going to go down to a 1 millimeter leather, I might do an 8. And maybe a 4
4 millimeter rather.
4 millimeter, something like that. But I might also take a look and see how that looks. I might change. I might alternate an 8 and a 6.
Yeah.
I mean, go crazy here. Call me nuts, right?
You're nuts, Em. You're nuts.
I cut a 2-yard piece of waxed linen.
And that's the 4-ply Irish wax linen.
Absolutely. And this is natural, right? Because I'm a natural gal.
You are.
And we're going to need this piece that's 2 yards long, and we're going to need a second piece that is about a yard. Okay? I almost forgot my trick.
I know.
I almost forgot.
Right?
I didn't, though.
And we sell the Irish wax linen. We sell it in a couple of ways. You can buy it by the spool, but you can also buy it what we call by the nest, the 10-yard nest. So we have a variety of colors in stock.
Oh my gosh, so many colors.
You can just decide what it is you like. Mine, that I'm going to do a little later, I'm just going to put it right here
Country
so you guys
red.
can see. The country red waxed linen, Irish wax linen, and then this is the distressed mahogany. But I also had, where is my distressed rose? Did we even bring, where's my, I don't know, where, is my tray down there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that this also looked really cool. This was the walnut right here and the distressed rose. Look at what a great combo
That's really
that
beautiful
is.
together. This is the walnut, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the walnut and the distressed rose. And look at that would also work if you wanted to go a little bit of a different colorway. So any of those will work really, really well.
Okay. So I'm going to take my shorter piece of Irish wax linen. I cut a piece twice my tray. And I'm going to thread it as well through my button. And this is going to be the strand that will hold my spine beads. I'm going to have to flatten it just a little bit. But
you want a plier?
Wax linen is the bomb for this.
Yeah.
No needle required. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Let me get a little tighter in there. Okay. There we go. I'm so intrigued by watching you that.
And I'm going to pull that through so that it lines up with my leather. All right? So this is going to be the thread that holds my beads, my spine beads on. One strand is going to lay with spine beads in the middle on the top, and the other strand is going to lay in the middle on the bottom of my work. So I have to have 2 strands here. There's no other way to really attach this, make it look good, and have it be secure, which are all my...
There's a quick question I think that relates to that. Which size of Ceylon, and I know you have some Ceylon sitting right here.
Yeah.
Could we use Ceylon or
You
Chinese
could.
knotting cord?
You could. You know, the nice thing about the waxed linen is it kind of holds things tightly, and it holds your knots real easily. So I'm going to take that...
but if you were using Ceylon, I would probably use regular.
I think so.
And maybe the 0.4 millimeter of Chinese knotting cord, the smallest.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. I like Chinese knotting cord and Ceylon too. I find that they're a little bit slippery. And for macrame, one of the nice things about wax cotton or wax linen is that things sort of stick together nicely. I'm going to take and put on, just about 5 or 6 here of these guys.
Excuse my hand. Is it
Pardon me.
there?
Pardon me. She's adjusting me.
I'm adjusting you.
And they slide right on the waxed linen with no needle necessary.
And so
nice.
so these are the spine
Botswana,
beads and the Botswana agate that you're doing.
Agate. The Botswana agate are so pretty.
Yeah.
They've got stripes and pinks and beiges and all these lovely variations and colors that just makes me super happy.
And while you're doing that,
Mhm.
Sue is asking over on the Facebook feed, how durable is the wax linen?
Pretty durable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what
I
too.
would find that the wax linen is by far stronger and more durable than leather. You know, I wouldn't worry about getting it wet particularly. Although wet, like chemicals wet, pool chemicals, that's going to be very hard on it.
Yeah.
If you were swimming in a lake or something or fresh water, I wouldn't worry. Wouldn't worry my pretty little head about it.
Yeah, but the wax linen, what I find, since it is a 4-ply, it's a nice heavy thread, but it's waxed and still thin enough that those beads glide right on.
Right.
So
I've got my
with it.
I've got my 6 beads here, and I just simply did a little knot to keep a slip knot here to keep the beads on the end of the string. You guys know about that, right? You know how to do that?
Show us again, Em, would you?
Make a loop around your finger, and then you're going to pull through a loop. Normally to make a knot, you'd stick the end through, but I'm going to go under across and just pull up a little loop. And that is untieable, but kind of keeps things from falling off. You could do a stop bead if you wanted to, but I don't find that to be totally necessary at this point. And I had another clamp. There it is, under my phone. I did bring some spools out of Ceylon just to give me a little booster here.
A little height.
A little height.
Or as our friend Jessica says, height.
Height.
A little bit of height.
I can't really say it the right way anymore.
I know, right?
Right? Height.
That's right.
Height, weight, width.
That's right.
Yeah. So there's my my cord underneath, my wax linen in between underneath, and there's my one that's going to lay on top.
And what you've done is you can also see, you guys, how Emily, I'm going to get my little ghosty finger right in here, how Emily, she attached this piece to the board, again, just like Drea did when she was here, just by simply clipping the button to the deep dish board. It's a nice way to do it.
You know, for right now, that's all I need,
Right.
and it gives me enough tension to hold this flat and to work with. I have my 2-yard piece of wax linen, and I folded it in half, and I'm just going to slip it around. And I also want to make sure that my spine beads are included. The thread of my spine beads are included here, okay? So the spine beads are just kind of hanging out here for a minute. They're not going anywhere too fast. I'm going to go ahead and macrame with this thread, and Kate and I both ascribe to the P and Q method. And in this case, I'm going to do about maybe 3 or 4 full knots, and I'm not pulling them too snug quite yet. I want to do have a little moment to do some adjusting in a minute, because I'm going to slide them up closer to the button. Because as you can see, they're not up against the base of the button yet.
Right.
And so I'm not going to be Armstrong quite yet about my work, and I'm also not going to worry too much about where these threads are just at the moment, because I got a little time yet to monkey around with that.
You know, and I think that's the beauty of this kind of flat stitch, is that it's so versatile in all these threads. You know, and I really like the look of it in that wax linen.
Okay, so we're going to call that secure. I'm going to take the clip off now, and if you look underneath, things are not quite evened up yet, or flat, or in the right places. But now I can slide my knots slowly up that leather.
Nice.
Underneath the button. I can adjust where my other threads are. And this is kind of handy because, God, it feels like there's so much stuff you got to deal with before you even really get to the work part. This is just the setup. I want to get going. I don't want to fool around. You know, summertime only lasts for a little while, and I really...
We got to get this bracelet on
I got to get this bracelet on my wrist. Right? So now my threads are really where I want them to be. Now, I think also what's important with using a bead as a clasp is you want to make sure you leave a little bit of room for the loop of the clasp to rest underneath the button. Yeah, I'm gonna seriously untangle myself, because man, I did get a stangle, didn't I? I got my threads on the wrong sides. Oh my word.
There we go.
There we go.
So that's that extra thread that you put through the
Loop of the
button
button.
shank, and then you had
They're
your
on the
other
wrong
thread.
sides of each other.
You
That's
had
right.
your other thread coming through and doing the flat knot with.
Yeah. So my other thread didn't only just got attached the way you normally would do macrame, right? So even that this is a little bit twisted, it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
Okay? But I am going to clamp it with everybody in position. Now I'm not going to clamp the thread. I'm not going to clamp the thread with the buttons or with the Botswana agate on it. Those don't need to be clamped. They're going to hang out and have some fun in another way. Ugh, again with that. Come on, guy.
Come on now.
Come on now. You were so fine before. What happened? I think I'm trying to pull it too snug. I'll ease up. But again, this is Kate and I, years of experience. Don't let it flap you.
No.
Right? There we go.
Just let it.
Right? Okay. So now the fun begins. I'm going to bring a Botswana agate up. Put it right there. The other ones are hanging out down here.
Slide it up.
I'm going to put a size 6 on each of my macrame cords. Slide those guys up. And I'm going to do now one full knot. The P side. Pull it up.
People are telling you, put a clamper on each side of the button, Emily.
Oh, yeah, I could if I wanted. Kate took all my clampers.
I did. I took all the clampers, but here's another one. There you go.
Q side. I never have to do that. That's so weird that popped off like that.
Well, it was given you.
It's because I'm on camera.
It is always true.
Right?
It's true.
So now this is where I like to pull a little bit snugger. Since I just have that one knot, I want to pull firmly. Does that make everybody happy now?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Everybody's super happy.
They're like, oh, thank God. I'm tired of watching that thing pop off. And if you have trouble, push your thread around a little bit. You know, who's the boss of that thread? Me.
And so this, again, you're just continuing doing that same flat knot. And notice how the linen that you have, that you didn't string the beads on, just is riding in between those two pieces of leather,
Yep,
right?
in the back. Kind of underneath. I mean, I think of this as the top, and what's underneath it on the spool side down there is the bottom. But that's sort of a...
And that's what that thread's going to do the whole time. It's just it's just going to ride along.
Just hanging out, looking pretty. Yep, riding shotgun. Okay. And one of the things I liked about doing this too was it made me be very mindful of doing my P's and Q's. And I just do the same one every time. I do the P, then the Q. And that helps me remember, because sometimes one gets confused and does 2 Q's and 2 P's, which you could do as well, but it gives you a spiral rather than a flat or not, right?
And see how Emily is also really mindful with her thread control. So notice how here she's bringing up her bead.
So the thread goes up into the bead, down.
And as she is tying the knot, so watch, she's making her P's and Q's, her side knots. And then I want you to see how she finishes it off, because it's really, really good thread control.
You know, I think much of jewelry making is learning a technique and then making it your own, and feeling super comfortable and confident about what you do.
See, there it goes. She slides it up, tightens it, and then does her second one underneath and tightens. And see how, like, the threads and stuff are bowing out a little bit? She just makes sure that everything is sitting correctly.
Yep. Just want to make sure I've got my... There we go. And it's nice to load a few beads on here. I tried it with loading all of my 6mm beads on. It was just too messy. It was too much fussing around of untangling things and tangling things. I love that I didn't need to have any glue for this or any needles. Things went very, very rapidly. Like I said, very rapidly once I sort of had the first go round.
And you can see, so loading on about 6 beads per.
Yeah, 6 was plenty.
Yeah.
I think the count was about 13 or
I'll
so.
count this one.
Would you count? I kind of forgotten.
6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21.
Okay. So more than I thought.
Mm-hmm. But it really, I think it's a fun, it's kind of a fun, fast project. And I think this would also be a good guide project to do, especially if you did this maybe with the lava beads or with the black onyx or the matte beads or something. Or you can do it all that's kind of monochromatic. This would look really great, I think.
Oh, my guy would wear this one or the carnelian one, I think.
Too. Yeah, Chris would too. Yeah, people are really liking this one, I
Good.
think. And I'm also hearing a lot of people are kind of sneaking in, and a couple people watching from work and stuff like that. So I love it.
It's Friday after all.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
So Lynn was saying back in the group and the bead table group, and you guys are familiar with that. If you're not, it's our private Facebook group for kind of fans of beadshop.com. And one of our design table members, our design team members, Danielle, she did a really cool thing with the kimono cord, and she used the check drops in her macrame. And so you could definitely, if you wanted something that was dimensional, you could put the check drops on this like that.
You could. The check drops, they're a bit fat at the top, so I think you're going to end up splitting your cord. So you're going to have a little bit different dimension there. I was doing this, I just had this moment of, I just thought of something. A lot of times when Kate and I are working on something, you think of something like right that minute. So back here on this bracelet, we could do 3 beads. So we could do step sizes here, which would give it a little more flair.
That's
and
just what I was thinking.
It would have another element, another color element that you could add to this if you wanted to.
So you could do, because you're using a 6/0 there, you could put an 8/0 on either side of it.
And an 11 for that matter.
Yeah, it would look really cool.
Could scale it.
Yeah,
it would look pretty.
really cool.
So, believe it or not, I'm actually out of spine beads. I'm going to have to put some more on. So, like I said, this is a fast make. You know, if we need, what did we say, 20-something beads?
Yeah, 21.
And I did 6 already in not 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then it's a quick make, maybe under an hour to make this. Of course, it doesn't include picking out beads, which around here is kind of an epic, event. But I thought this was a fun variation on a theme. Yeah, I am out of spine beads, so I'm gonna put some more on.
Let's put some more on there.
Right?
Excellent. With this, and like we were talking, you can scale it up or down with your leather choice. You could also use, instead of the leather, if you are a non-leather using type of person, we could use the surfer cord, would be great. And you could use the surfer cord in 1 millimeter or the 1.5. We carry it in both.
The biggest Chinese knotting cord is the 0.8 millimeter.
0.8.
Yeah.
You could do the base.
You could do that. You could do that. I just had a thought, gosh, this would look great for a guy in king size or queen size shadows as the spine bead.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It would be awesome.
So this, as I'm just going along here, is, like I said, an extremely fast make. When I get to the end, I'm going to continue with just macrame, straight ahead macrame, the kind of macrame we started with, square knots. Sure. You know, we're cheating it down. And I prefer to end my macrame by burying the tail back up in the macrame, which is I think what Allie likes, and that's kind of my preference. So I will take a small piece of wax linen, make a loop macrame over it, and then use that little loop kind of like you would for
like a needle instead of
like a pearl wrap, and that same little loop, not a pearl wrap, silk wrap, and pull it up into the knot that way. You can put a dab of glue on there if it makes you happy. With the waxed linen, it's sort of sticky already.
Right.
So I kind of dig that, and I don't worry too much about it. Look what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Lefty, righty. Look at that.
Oh,
Bam.
wow. Bam and bam. And so, yeah, put on a few more, Em, and I know that even if we finish this off and it's a little short, we still have some time, so we're doing all right. Yeah. We're going to do it like you mean it.
You talk, I'll not.
Right. I wanted to also mention, you guys, with this piece that Janice had here, and I'm going to kind of pull it over to the side so you guys can see this and move it over. This is Janice's, when Brittany was here, you guys will remember when she was here. This is the River Walk piece project that Janice did. And it has also a few of the Free Tip Fridays that I did with, I think this is called the basket knot. I think I did this one, and you'll see that one. You can see what Emily was talking about. I'm going to get a little close up so you guys can see kind of the details of this one, if I can get it to face the camera. Right, there we go. That has that Matubo. It's the 2-aught, right, is the Matubo. And then you can see next to it, if I can turn it, there we go, is the 6 and then the 8s next to it. So what Emily could use, like she's doing with those spine beads there, she's using the 6 and then she could flank it with a couple of 8s and it would fill in just a little bit more, which I think would be cool. Also, we have, you could use 2 colors. See how here I have 2 colors of the Chinese knotting cord is what I used here. Now Em could choose 2 colors of her Irish wax linen. The knots could be 1 color, and then what she's stringing the beads on could be another. So it could add a little kind of multi-dimension.
I think we should call these the carrier strands.
The carrier strands.
Because they're carrying the beads along, right? That spine bead. And
you could also finish it, if you didn't want to finish it with a button, you could finish it in the very traditional, what we call the fishtail end. You could do that as well. And you can see doing this, we do this in our Bollywood series. It's one of the videos that Brittany did. It came up in my Facebook memory, or my YouTube memories. She did that video, I think it was over 7 years ago, that video went up, which was just incredible.
Early days, huh?
Yeah, early days. So you can find that right on our YouTube channel at beadshop.com, which is great. And Anastasia came in a little bit later, and she's asking that pretty purple Ceylon that you've got here.
What is that?
This is just to hold Emily's piece up from
little
the
finger
board.
room.
Yeah, so it gives her a little bit of room. That is, I think that's fine Ceylon. I don't think it's regular.
Lilac?
And the color, I'll tell you, I'm going to have to look it up. We have so much Ceylon that I can't ever remember, but I'm going to look it up for you so you guys can see. But you can see Emily's really making some progress on that. Let me go to stringing materials. I'm on the website. I'm here on beadshop.com, and I go to stringing materials, and I go to Ceylon, and I think I will sort the Ceylon by color, and it
might be amethyst.
It is medium purple, maybe? No, I don't know. I'm looking. Yeah, it's amethyst. Cara's like, Cara to the rescue. It's amethyst. Cara knows. I think everybody is, people always watch this in the office too. It's really funny. It's really funny.
We think we're in a separate room just hanging out and doing our own thing, and turns out that everybody's paying attention.
Everybody's paying attention.
God bless them. Thank you, Cara.
This is the regular flat square knot, Jackie. Just the P and the Q, and it's the same one that we do with all of these Bollywoods and stuff. And while Emily's continuing to do her stringing, I'll show you guys this one. You'll remember this from Riverwalk.
Same.
It's very similar to what
Yeah,
Emily is doing.
super similar.
This is with the, I think, the mushroom popcorn padres, and but there's no beading around the edges, right? It's just
that's right. Sorry, I
it's
thought I
just
forgot mine.
Ooh. And then this guy here, you can see, also kind of similar to what Emily is doing. It's that flat knot, but she used the padres again, offset back and forth. So we revisit this technique an awful lot.
Well, it's never.
It never grows old.
It never grows old, but it's also a super useful, easy to remember.
Easy, yeah. Gives you a lot of impact.
Lots of options. Look, I'm ready for some more beads.
All right.
Right?
We're super close.
I told you this is free, fast and free Tip Friday, right?
That's right.
The speed, I truly, I finished the 2 samples and I kind of looked at my timer and I was like, Kate, you sure that's okay? It's that fast?
I said yes. Yes, keep going.
So,
right.
and
I'm going to pull this up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some more too.
I lift my hands up over it. Having, doing some work remotely away from the bead shop is always a little bit of a challenge. And
it is always a challenge, but we manage it.
But I think we're making it. Yeah.
This is a serpentine donut. Ellen was asking. This is from the Riverwalk
series.
sample. Sorry, I'm having trouble getting things in there we go, in the camera range.
It would be interesting to do this the same way that is, where you have it coming off of a centerpiece.
A centerpiece. It would be cool.
It would be kind of fun.
All the donuts, you could even do this for a little bit of a larger scale, the 30 millimeter.
We could do it as a necklace, or the centerpiece of a necklace. Yeah.
And Cindy's asking, is the core 1.5? It is doubled.
Yes.
Cindy, so it is doubled through the button. It's about 2 tray lengths. So about 30 inches or so, and then that's doubled through, or it's not doubled, but it's strung through the shank of the button, so it's doubled. And then the carrier wax linen thread is also threaded through the shank of the button and then doubled down. So, and someone's also asking how long. Rose is asking from the YouTube feed. How long was the necklace that I wrapped around my wrist?
Ooh,
well, I'll tell you,
long.
I did this one this was a free Tip Friday vibe. And so the free Tip Friday, it's when I released that stone mix. Where is our, the
measuring
measure seems to be
MIA?
Not in its correct place.
I feel like I saw it today.
It's
not in your
did
tray?
I carry it around? Oh, here it is. I just couldn't see it. I had to stand up. I'm too short to see it. So let me tell you, Rose, I kind of randomly make these. Let me see here. It's 35, so it's about 70 inches, I think, is what I wanted.
Yeah, I like a 40-inch or something around your head, kind of longish.
And so, Ellen, you're saying that if the serpentine are out of stock, the discs, the jade discs will work, and we'll have those back in pretty quickly. I think I didn't realize that they were out. But what I would substitute, I'm going to go over to the website here while Emily's continuing to string. I'm going to get a little bit tighter in on what Emily's doing. There you guys go. Let me just go to the vintage finds here, and then, Cindy, I'll get to your question real quick. If I go to beads and gems, or no, I just go right up here to the top to vintage finds, and I'm scrolling. You could use the serpentine donut, I think, is what actually Janice used, the serpentine donut. Those would look great. It's a little bit smaller, but what did Janice use? I'm sorting through here, so bear with me. I love the little donuts. You could also use, if you're on the website, take a look at Envision. You can just type Envision up in the keyword search box. Envision would be a cool one to use with this. like that. You could use the Poppy Jasper, the 30 millimeter disc would look good. And Tides Out, Kim Crawford also mentioned Tides Out would be an excellent one to use for that center. I'm going to keep clicking around.
I'm watching the clock for you, Kate. Should
We're close.
Start to wrap?
Let's start to wrap it up.
All right. I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
My last one.
But those will all work. And any of the vintage finds that are out of stock, and when you're watching this later, if things are out of stock, never fear. We always bring things back in pretty quickly, so you can always hang tight. There was a quick question. Let me see here. Are the cords Emily's using to tie on the beads a separate piece? Yes, they are. And
Yeah,
that's way up here at the top. You can see that's where Emily connected them.
There's knotting cords, and then the stringing cord that has the spine beads, the carrier cord, is a separate bead and a separate piece. And the other half of that carrier cord, it just goes through the button and back down, is just sliding along down here, riding shotgun.
Looks good.
So I'm going to call it done.
Yeah, how do we...
I'm going to take off the last
and I'm going to pull this
spine
back
bead
up just a little bit more so I've got you front and center.
Right. I'm going to do in here about... Whoops. What's going on here? Why did I grab the wrong thing? I'm going to do 2 full knots. So I did 1 full knot to finish off that last spine bead. And I'm going to do another full knot here. Sorry, I just bumped the camera with my glasses. And I'm going to stop for just a second. And I'm going to pick up a scrap of this country red so you can see it. Okay. And I'm going to lay that country red scrap in my macrame. And what this is going to do is give me a little loop to deal with my ends. And I know it's a little fussy, but it's easier to see it with a different color. And you know what? You can save that scrap and use it over and over again if you want. So I want my
even tighter here.
Loop. This is just like a silk wrap. That loop is going to do the same stinking job that a silk wrap loop does.
Yeah, it's going to pull that thread
It's going to pull that thread through.
Or also, like when Allie does this with her pieces, instead of the loop of thread, Allie, we use the collapsible eye needle.
Right, and you could use that. The loop of thread for me is, I don't know, fast, cheap, and easy. It's right here, and I'm going to do 2 full knots on top here. Okay. All right. That's done. Clamps coming off.
I'm in nice and tight when
Purple
you did
coming
that.
away.
Okay.
Clamp coming off. So I have not only 2 threads, but I actually have 4 threads here to deal with. So my leather is going to be the loop for the knot, for the button. And you'll notice that the 2 threads here are your carrier threads. One is short, one is long. The short one is the one that went through all the beads and went up and down. Okay. I'm going to take those 2 threads and feed it through that loop. I'm glad I used that red because it's super easy for me to see.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the tricks here is to not pull that thread that you're going to pull through too tightly. If it needs a little bit of air to kind of work.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm also going to stick through my 2 macrame threads.
And notice how Emily is sticking them through in all the same direction, guys. Right? They're all coming from one side of the loop and going to the other side, so they're not crossing in there. That's also pretty important. And then Nan is asking, are you using looser knots? Is your macrame a little looser to compensate for this, Em?
Not really. And I may get into trouble with trying to pull all 4 of these through at the same time, and I think I am going to get into trouble. I always thought I could do it, but you know what? I'm just going to do 2 at a time.
Okay.
Okay? Come on, there we go.
Yes, nice.
All right.
Now, would 2 be sufficient? Let me ask you. Do we need to put those other ones back through?
I think so. I would be uncomfortable with them not being through. So, all
What do you
me.
need?
All me, baby.
All right here.
Perfect. Here's another benefit of working with the waxed linen and the leather is that it's pretty forgiving. Watch this. It holds that opening up.
Mm-hmm. And you can get that thread back through there.
Mm-hmm. What's that loop right there? Is that guy? No. Is it this guy? No. Is it this guy? Oh, it's that guy. And maybe that guy. Ah, technical terms, right? Those guys. You guys. You guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Who else says that? Is that JP?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You need to make a little tunnel. So see how Emily's making a nice tunnel with that?
See how it stays open?
Mm-hmm.
Mischief managed. I'm going to feed that guy through.
No, wrong
yes. one. No. You're wrong.
Oh.
And
oh, I see. Do you want me to hold those out of your way?
Sure. We'll take it one at a time here.
Nice. It's nice with that little tunnel. Look at that. How easy peasy.
I came through the Robin Williams tunnel last night.
Oh.
I thought about him. I hope everyone thinks about him when they go through that tunnel.
That rainbow tunnel.
That rainbow tunnel, because he was a funny guy.
Yeah, it's that one that goes right to the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dawn is also saying, and this is a really clever observation. She's saying a tiny crochet hook would also do this.
It would. You'd be able to maybe reach down there and pull them through?
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
It's a clever idea.
The only problem with the waxed linen is it gets a little sticky.
Yeah.
And so using the hook to kind of do the work might be a little bit dicey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I just made a mistake. I should have left those down there. These are my carrier beads, and they didn't go around a knot. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm going to leave them down here.
Okay.
And we could put a dab of glue on there if
Yeah.
you felt like it. But I was kind of happy not to use glue for 5 minutes.
So what Emily did was she was so excited to pull them back through, but those are the carrier beads. So
Carrier threads.
The carrier threads for the beads.
They can hang out there.
Yeah, you can. That's, I would say, you can glue it. I'd put maybe a little bit of glue, or you can do another final macrame knot with it to macrame it closed.
Sure.
I
don't think it's going anywhere.
Clip those off. There we go. So we only need to take those 2 threads through.
Yep. The macrame threads.
The macrame threads back up and through.
A knot,
very
naughty.
nice.
I like to go through 2 times to make that surgeonsy knot. And it's a little bit futzy with leather. I always have to kind of mush the knot around to kind of make it look good. And then I might have to mush it around to make sure I'd left enough space to get the button through.
Would you, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Would you
Riddle me
tie a knot just here as well?
No.
You could, though, if
You
you
could,
wanted.
yeah, underneath.
Or this end, you could also silk wrap all of that instead of macrame.
Sure.
You could.
So are you talking about, that's a nice idea, Kate. That actually might look really good.
Yeah.
I kind of blew you
kind
off
of like
there
what I did
initially.
with...
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No.
See if I can wiggle that knot.
It
open.
might be kind of nice to have the button sitting in between
Couple of knots.
a couple of knots.
What?
Well, I like that. I do that finish a lot because it's a fast way to close
Off with.
like your wrap bracelets.
Right.
When I end, I just tie everything up so those carrier bead
Threads could have been in there.
Can be in that knot.
Sure.
Just a thought.
I think I just slid them up in the macrame last time, but it's been a little minute. Let's try that again. Did you do a surgeon's knot or just a single regular knot?
Just a regular overhand knot. Like that. And then just walk that sucker right down. Yeah, there you go. So it gives it a little...
Oh, collab.
There you go. And again, come a little closer to me. There you are. Beautiful.
Yeah, I was moderating last on YouTube, and I kept doing the same thing. Kate, up.
Right,
up.
do it. I know. It's
not
hard.
that I could do anything about it.
I know.
Had it there where I was, but
it's hard to. That's why we work on these trays, you guys, so we know where our camera angles are. Yeah. It's always
challenge.
Always an adventure. Yeah, there we go. And you could on the ends, so you could just clip them off, or you could tie some beads or some knots or whatever it is you wanted to do.
This actually might be long enough.
Mm-hmm. Because you know what you did on this one? You did that
20.
on this one already.
Oh, I did do that,
You did.
huh?
Look how smart you are.
I don't remember that.
I did.
This says 20. Let's put out your wrist. Let's see if it fits
I don't
you.
know.
It might just.
Yeah, perf.
Actually goes with your outfit today.
It
You're all
does,
somber.
indeed. Look at how great that looks. So that's 20 of the tied up stations of the 6 millimeters. And my wrist is, and I'm going to get it a little more in the shot, my wrist is a 6.5 inch wrist.
So see the carrier threads going
Where are you
down,
going with that all
up the
next to my
bead.
wrist?
I'll be careful. Through the bead, down and up.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like seeing the thread. It's another, again, that's a design element.
Mm-hmm.
It's another color that we bring into the design.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like
I
this.
dig it. I love it.
Okay, I
It
kind of
looks
like
great.
it.
I'm going to come around so that we can see. I'm going to move the camera as well here so we can see things. And then, Emily, while I am moving the camera, do you want to talk a little bit about the necklace you're wearing?
Oh, just a little something, a little bagatelle that I came up with. You know, I really like the idea of the space in between the beads.
Mm-hmm.
And
oops, the negative space.
the
that you
negative
got
space,
going
the
on.
the artsy fartsy in me says negative space.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of having a little bit of rhythm in what you're making.
There you
And
go.
so I did a little wire wrap with some chain and some turquoise beads, wire wrap, and a little pendant sort of that I made with the mixed stones. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Kind of fun.
And it's just a simple, you know, on beadshop.com, we also have a great skill builder. Sorry, I need to get a little more height in here. We have a great skill builder on
Wire wrapping.
wire wrapping.
Mm-hmm.
And the wire that you used, is that a 26 gauge?
Actually, just 24.
24.
24 is
So it's
kind of my
again-
go-to for a lot
Mhm.
of small wire wraps. I think 26 is it's sinking.
Mhm.
Too low. Too low.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I gotcha.
Okay. The 26 gauge I think is a little bit fine for
Mhm.
most wire wrapping.
Right,
I think you can use it if it's not kind of load bearing.
right. And if we're
Um,
doing super tiny little beads or
Mhm.
really tiny gemstones,
Yeah.
that would work.
But it's definitely 24
Very
gauge is a little bit stronger,
Yeah,
a little
for
more
that.
durable. Mm-hmm.
Well, it
Thanks,
looks great. So I know we're a little off screen here.
Oops.
We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you. That was such a fun project.
It's fun and fast, huh?
Yeah, fun and fast.
I
It
like
was
it.
great. So you'll find this. Karen will link it on the homepage on beadshop.com. Link to the video, and we'll have the project, the ingredients that Emily used. But in this one, she used the Botswana agate, the matte metallic bronze in 6/0. This now is slipping. I'm going to move this up.
Natural leather,
Natural
or
leather.
natural
There we go.
wax linen and aged gray, distressed gray
Yeah.
on the leather.
Sorry, here I am up close and personal with you
Sorry, guys.
There you go. Look at that.
There we
Yeah,
are.
That's better.
Oh, it was just the cord pulling it down.
It was the cord.
Oh.
It was the cords.
Got it.
So, just a reminder, we are having our open studio
Tomorrow.
here tomorrow. It's going to
Come
be
on by.
super fun.
If you're in town,
If
please
you're
do.
local, please come.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fun. You know,
We're going to be banging around making stuff.
we are. It's going to be so fun, and you're going to make stuff.
Kate
as
and I
well.
have a great time in the studio
Yeah, we
together.
always
So
do. And a big thank you, a big shout out to Gita. Thank you so much. She was moderating as beadshop.com
Bless you,
over
Gita.
on our Facebook page.
Yep.
We super appreciate it. So I didn't give you that shout out at the beginning.
I love seeing you pop up.
Yeah, well, and it's super great to have everybody watch us from all over. Next week on Facebook or on Bead Shop Live, we have another special guest. Karen's going to be on.
Karen.
Our Karen, our webmaster
talking about
Karen.
the website.
Because, yes, we're going to give you a tour of our new website.
Cool.
Give you some tips and tricks on how to shop our website to make it even easier for you. I think you're going to be super excited about some of the new features. You know, Karen has been working really hard. We've been working for almost a year. It feels actually almost a year on
building
this
building a
release.
website takes
So it's gonna be
forever.
great.
It takes it's a long process. You know, there's changes and getting all the photos, everything together, the verbiage. It's a long process. Anybody who, if you've never tried it, try it for yourself sometime.
Yeah.
You'll have a new respect for
no,
folks
it's
who
a
do
lot. And she's really doing a great job. So, but again, the website, you can jump over to beadshop.com, find all the ingredients that we use today, our studio address and everything for the open studio, which would be awesome, right here in Redwood City, California.
Sunny Redwood City.
That's right. It'll be really fun. And I will see you on Bead Shop Live next Wednesday with Karen for a walkthrough of our
Is
new
that Karen's first beach
website. No, she's done it with me before.
Has she?
Yeah. We've done a wrap bracelet. We've done some things before.
Okay.
So it'll be pretty awesome. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Me too.
Hopefully Emily and I will see you tomorrow. If not here, stay tuned for our live broadcasts, and we'll welcome you in via some Bead Shop Lives on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel.
And we're working on Seed Bead School, so don't forget.
Yeah, don't despair.
Don't despair. Don't lose hope. We're coming for you.
She's coming.
I'm coming for you, Seed Bead people.
Seed beads, I'm looking at you. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Either way. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Thanks a
Em.
lot. Thanks, Kate.
Hang on. I need to. We're still on. We're still on.
I know.
We're
I know.
still on.
I
We're
was
still
looking-
on.
I was looking at